So when we fight, okay, when people come into my office, clients and couples, individuals and couples, the first thing they want to do, and I was there too, I did this too. The first thing that they would want to do is they would want to tell me the backstory. And they would go on in explaining all the juicy details of their relationship. And so did this, or so and so didn't do that. And I know I'm right because of this and this and this, and this is what I'm doing, and this is what they're doing. And notice if the word doing is in there, we know we're talking about the physical. We know we're talking about the circumstances. And that's not okay. And they shouldn't do that because of this and this and this. Anybody knows because of this and this and this, right? And that's evidence. That's the physical evidence that they're now using to support their story. And so we base our fights on the physical. Simply put, I could say, you know what, when you arrived late, it was 12:15. And somebody might say, it wasn't 12:15, it was 12:05. And they're going to say, I'm going to say, I know it was 12:15 because of blah, 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 blah. And they're going to say, well, I know it was 12:05 because I looked at the clock in my car. And that's an example of how we fight and argue about comparing our physical experiences. But that's not what ails us. That's not what's creating our problem. What's creating our problem is the other side of our navigation system, which is what made me, or how did I feel about that physical experience? What's hurting my feelings about the fact that you're 15 minutes late in my experience? And you're trying to justify it now by telling me it was only 12:05, which essentially minimizes what I'm feeling about you being late. We're not talking about you being late. We're talking about the physical details of how late were you, which are very different things. And so how we sacrifice the sacred is we bang around on the physical circumstances of our lives instead of talking about how those physical circumstances caused me to feel. And here's the kicker: our emotional bodies are running the show. I'm going to say that again because it is so important you wrap your head around this. Our emotional bodies run our lives, they run the show of our lives. I show up physically as good as I feel. And if I don't feel so good, I don't show up so good. And this is why it won't matter to your kids or your partner how much physical evidence you have about the way they feel, because it's not the evidence physically that is troubling them. It's the way that all of that makes them feel. And if we can't start talking about the things that matter most, which is the way I feel, that's the only way we're going to be able to find a solution through the problems that we face.